Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Snack Attack 99. Thanks for the suggestion, Snack Attack. You asked, why are French fries called French if they aren't from France? If you've ever sat down with a big pile of fries, golden, crispy, salty perfection, you might have wondered, wait a minute, are these actually French? And if they're not, have we all just been living a giant potato-based lie? Well, today, we're diving into the history, the myths, and the accidental misnaming of one of the world's favorite foods. So grab some fries, or whatever fried snack is closest, and let's dig in, right here on Explaining Everything. First things first, French fries did not come from France. That's right. This whole time, we've been giving credit to the wrong country. The real birthplace of fries, Belgium. According to Belgian folklore, people in the Meuse Valley were frying up potatoes as early as the late 1600s. They usually fried small fish. But when the river froze over in the winter and fishing became impossible, they started slicing potatoes into thin strips and frying them instead. And just like that, the world's greatest snack was born. But here's where things get messy. The Belgians were happily munching on fries for centuries, minding their own business, when suddenly Americans showed up and completely botched the name. During World War I, American soldiers were stationed in Belgium and got their first taste of fries. Naturally, they were hooked. But here's where the misunderstanding happened. Many Belgians, especially in the military, spoke French. So the Americans just assumed they were in France. Classic. They went back home raving about these amazing fried potatoes, calling them French fries, and the name stuck. Meanwhile, Belgium was probably sitting there like, excuse me? But by then, it was too late. The branding was done, and Belgium had lost its rightful claim to fry fame. Now, just when you think this is all a simple case of mistaken identity, there's another theory that kind of justifies the name, and it has to do with how the potatoes are cut. In cooking terminology, Frenching means to cut something into thin strips. Ever heard of French cut green beans? Same idea. So some people argue that French fries just means thinly sliced and fried potatoes, and the name has nothing to do with the country at all, which sounds reasonable until you realize that this logic could mean we should be calling onion rings French onions, or thin crust pizza French pizza. But for some reason, fries are the only ones getting the French treatment. Now, you'd think France would be outraged that they've been wrongly credited with something they didn't invent, but surprisingly, they don't seem to mind. In fact, they love fries. They call them pommes frites and eat them with everything, especially with mayonnaise, which, if you've never tried, is way better than it sounds. So, while Belgium is still out here trying to reclaim its fry legacy, France is just happily enjoying their fries, sipping wine, and judging us for dipping them in ketchup. You'd think the name of a snack wouldn't be controversial, but somehow French fries got dragged into international politics. In 2003, when the US had a diplomatic falling out with France, some American politicians decided they were so mad that they renamed French fries to freedom fries in government cafeterias. This was a real thing. There were menus that actually said freedom fries. People had to order them with a straight face. Meanwhile, France, being France, didn't even acknowledge it. They just kept eating their pommes frites and probably raised a collective eyebrow at the whole situation. Eventually, the name change quietly disappeared. But for a brief, glorious moment, America tried to erase France from fries entirely. Despite the name drama, fries became one of the most popular foods on the planet. And over time, people got creative. Now, fries come in more shapes and styles than anyone ever expected. There are shoestring fries, which are so thin they might as well be potato floss. There are curly fries, which are somehow always seasoned better than regular fries, and no one knows why. Waffle fries exist purely to maximize sauce coverage, and steak fries are so thick they make you question if you're actually just eating a baked potato. And then there's poutine, Canada's masterpiece. Fries, cheese curds, and gravy. A dish so heavy, it practically forces you into a food coma after 2 bites. Wherever you go, fries have adapted. They're served with vinegar in the UK, slathered in ketchup in the US, and loaded with toppings in places that have fully given up on the idea of moderation. So, after all this, are French fries actually French? Nope, they're Belgian. But thanks to a combination of American confusion and culinary terminology, the name stuck. And honestly, does it really matter? Fries are fries. Whether they're called French, Belgian, or just crispy potato happiness, they're one of the best things ever invented. So next time you bite into a fry, take a moment to appreciate the long, strange journey it took to get to you. And if you ever find yourself in Belgium, maybe order some frites and give credit where credit is due. If you enjoyed this and are now craving Belgium fries, wink, wink. Hit that like button and subscribe while you're at it. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.